Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Luis, Green Zebra Gardening. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can actually grow, maybe not everything in your home garden, but a good chunk of it if you're trying to make a dent. It is not going to be easy to replace all of the vegetables and all of the fruits out of your garden that you eat just in your garden. So let's go ahead and show you what you might be able to do. Alright, and there's a tool that I probably will need at some point. So even if you don't have the space for all of these raised beds, even this isn't replacing everything we need to buy at the grocery store as far as vegetables goes. But it is making a dent, I think. So let's just say you don't have all the space for the raised beds. Granted, it doesn't have to be along a wall, but you don't have space at all, or you just want to supplement maybe something that you are growing at the plot, or maybe you just have a small patio and you have a balcony, whatever the case may be. These are 30-gallon grow bags. No, they don't have to be this big. Yes, you can have smaller containers. Yes, they can be individual. What I like about these is that I treat each one of these as an individual mini garden. But in conjunction, all of them together, if I can get like 2 or 3 of these put together, it basically equals as one bed. So just to give you an idea. In this one we have 4 pepper plants, we have basil, we have nasturtiums, we have probably some kind of bok choy, tatsoi, some kind of Asian green in there. In this one we have 2 eggplants. I have basil going all the way around, basil in the middle, going down the middle, and then in the empty spots here we have bush beans I just planted. Same thing in this one as that one over there. This one's a little heavier seeded as far as the greens, and I think I even have some beets in here for some of these. Also nasturtiums, you can do the companion planting. So I think on all of these, except maybe that one, maybe not that, I think I put nasturtiums in there, I don't remember. You can go ahead and do the companion planting. There is a book out there, Carrots Loves Tomatoes, or Carrot Loves Tomatoes, or something like that, where it gives you companion planting. I've never used it. I've heard very good things about it, but I've never used it. I just Google everything. Since I've already got a lot of gardening books. And so we have 4 different varieties of peppers. It was a 2-pack. It was a 4-pack that Mom brought. She asked me, she goes, "Hey, do you have pepper plants?" And I said, "I have some, but they're really small." I come home and she's got me 8 pepper plants. It's a mix of sweet peppers. There's red, orange, yellow, and purple. And so honestly, with the one container, you might be fine with just for 2-3 people, maybe even 4 people. Again, you don't have to be sustainable or self-sustainable in everything. Maybe you just want to grow all your peppers. And these are sweet peppers. We do like hot peppers in this household. We have 3 people here. I do have some jalapenos in the raised bed to make up for them. But maybe this container can be sweet peppers. Maybe that container can be hot peppers. Or maybe you mix in the eggplants with the peppers. But all you need is just to go ahead and mix those in. So I have in the back, I have honey boats, squash, smaller versions of butternut. I also have radishes. I also have nasturtiums, and I think I put marigold in this one. I'm not 100% sure. Everything in this one is gone directly from seed for myself. The peppers, obviously, they were bought, but everything else I did from seed. Essentially the microgreens at this point were all from seeded directly in there. The nasturtiums, there's one here, there's one back there. Those were all transplanted in. The basil, I went ahead and transplanted in, and obviously the eggplant. The eggplants I started from seed myself. Peppers themselves, again, those are store-bought, but I seeded in the center row, and then I transplanted in the basil and the nasturtiums. zinnias I started from seed, and then separately, and then transplanted in, and then the cilantro went in there as seed. You can also grab some of those onion sets. You can drop them in here. These are bush beans. You don't have to do pole beans. You can do bush beans. Either way, even if you wanted to do pole beans, you can use the same method as these. It's one of those containers. Now, as far as tomatoes, you can do those as well. You can go ahead and do the determinate varieties, the ones that are meant to stay small, or if you do want to get some T-posts, you can do indeterminates. T-posts can be 6-7 feet tall, and that way you can just tie them to the T-posts. You do want to get a large container like this though for those, that way it doesn't fall over or something just with a wide base. And obviously you're going to want something that's pretty deep. These are a tiny bit taller than my raised beds. My raised beds are 15 inches tall. So everything went from seed here. I went ahead and topped off with worm castings from the Sapod Mini that I have here, which you can have that too, or something similar to it. Or you can do the worm bin underneath the kitchen sink or something, or even on the patio, or on the, you do want to do those in the shade though, you don't want to do those in the sun. But all that to say, you can grow a decent amount of food. Yes, you want to go ahead and go a little more intensive as far as really packing them in. You do want to look for varieties that are smaller, that are meant for small spaces. Cucumbers or something like the Space Masters. There's a Space Master 80s, I think, is the new variety of those. I think the plant is even more compact. The honey boat squash, that's a compact variety. Peppers and eggplants and bush beans, those are going to work because those don't really have quote-unquote compact versions. Although there is little finger eggplants. Eggplants are smaller. I've grown them I think once. I'm not exactly sure how much smaller the plants are, but you can go just with a basic Black Beauty. And honestly, the Black Beauties, we've had, not just the Black Beauties, we've had a single eggplant basically feed us all throughout the summer, and then a lot more. We've had to give them away. We've had to leave them on neighbors' porches, and my mom's been taking them over to my sister's. We still have some lettuce that we're trying to get rid of. I think we're hopefully going to get that eaten up here soon. But the eggplants for us, they do really well for us, and they do get sun. It is this late in the day, and it's 5 o'clock now. Granted, we are getting into summer. We're spraying into summer, and so we are going to get a lot more sun. And there is still a little bit of heat left on that. It's not a whole lot, but there is still a little bit of heat. The wax jambu apple, or the wax apple jambu is doing really well. I did just feed it a few weeks ago, so that's why. But all these tomatoes and all these squash and cucumbers, these are Persian cucumbers. These are melons. These are Armenian cucumbers. One of my favorite melons is the Minnesota midget cantaloupe. They only get to like 3 or 4 feet wide, 3 or 4 feet tall. Well, I could probably put a couple of them on here, and they'd be fine. And they do put out a decent amount of fruit. I know the red curry squash over there is going to expand and take off. I probably need to harvest that lettuce. That way that little red curry right back there takes off. Those Persian cucumbers are looking insane. What's to say that you can't grow something like that in one of these grow bags? So each one of these you want to treat as its own individual mini garden. Even if you only have space like for like 1 or 2, you can go with like, swing back over here. You can do an eggplant in the back and maybe some peppers in the front, or maybe a combination. And if you don't like hot peppers, then don't grow them. If you don't like sweet peppers, then don't grow them. Only grow the hot ones. But one of the biggest issues that people have is they will grow stuff that they will not eat. It does not make sense to me. Um, I will say, I will ask, try them because homegrown produce is going to be a lot tastier than stuff that you at the store. If it grows well for you, but you don't like it, fine. Don't grow it the next year. Try something different. Every year, try and have something different, not just necessarily a different vegetable, but maybe a different variety. Oh well, I don't like Persian cucumbers, so I'm going to try this other cucumber. Oh well, I didn't like that tomato. I'm going to try another one. Also, on these containers, again, they don't have to be beefsteaks. They can be cherry tomatoes, and that way, you can go out there snacking. Again, if it replaces like one thing, my son loves cherry tomatoes. He loves tomatoes in general, but his mom buys him the containers at the grocery store. That's like $6-7. It's like $6-7. Those suckers get expensive. He comes over here, he stands at the plant for 5 minutes, and he's had his fill of cherry tomatoes. And if I've got multiple varieties, he knows what they are. They've gotten to the point where they know what they are. They know what the plants look like. In the winter, I usually try and get them peas. They love their peas. This year we got really lucky and we did really well with carrots, and so they love the carrots. In the summer, my oldest, I asked him, I said, hey, in the summer, since your little brother likes the tomatoes, you don't like tomatoes, what do you want me to grow for you? He says, I want cucumbers, Dad. I said, okay, I've got those. And I've got the Armenian cucumbers, which really are muskmelons. But all I have to say, let each child pick one. Okay, you want to grow cucumbers? You want to grow peas? You want to grow beans? You want to grow carrots? Whatever it is. The only thing is, with these grow bags, they are going to need to be watered more often. So you are gonna wanna teach them of like spacing. You want to look at the seed packets, and this goes for raised beds as well, or even in ground. Being in an urban setting, we are very limited on space, and I try to push the boundaries inside whatever the space I have is. Yes, you can go in and do the compact and smaller varieties meant for urban garden, which takes a lot of guesswork out. But sometimes you just want a regular plant that isn't meant for a small space, and that satisfaction that you get when it takes off. I mean, I've grown plenty of tomatoes in these, and the highest they've gotten as far as the supports is basically this, which is, let's say, about 6 feet. It's holding up higher because it's in a 15-inch raised bed. It's 15-inch tall. I've got bananas that I gotta get rid of, that I gotta pull the pups out of, and there's another one over here coming up. So you can grow stuff in containers. I trim the heck back out of the shards. So these are my hot peppers. Well, these three are jalapenos. I don't know what that is. I don't know what this one is, but just based on the leaves, it looks like a hot pepper. So this is Jimmy Nardello, so it'll be a great grilling pepper. And so in between everything, while these plants size up, I have radishes, I have beets, I have marigolds. I have all kinds of stuff in there. I have onions, I have the onion sets. The onion sets that they sell in this area that I've seen, these over here, they only give me green onions, because those are the wrong onions for my area. There's a difference with long day, short day, and all that. Go over to the Dixadale Farms website. They're amazing with those. But all that to say, you can use some of these onion sets and tuck them in here. Or you can just buy those little bunching onion seed packets, drop them in. And so that way, it confuses the pests of like, holy crap, flea beetles for eggplants. I planted basil all the way around. It confuses the hell out of them. And you also don't want to have all of your individuals in your same plants together, just because along with the stuff that goes after the peppers, is going to get all your peppers all at once. That's why I have another batch over here, and that's why I have more batches over there, and that's why I have another eggplant over there. So don't tell me you don't have a ton of space. I know there are people out there that really don't have any space, but get a few of these. Start off with one. Start off with a few. And go. So on the Epic Gardening website, they do have gardens in a bag. They do come with a large grow bag and a few seed packets and instructions on how to do it. It does not give you the soil, obviously, but gives you everything else. So you can go over there and get started. You can buy everything individually as well from the website, but they have the themed bags. They have, I think, a flour bag, a salsa bag, a pizza one, I think. They've got about 4 or 5 different ones. So go on there, check out what you have, and if anything, grab some ideas. Oh, I can plant this and that together. You can always Google it. Hey, I have this size of a grow bag. What can I grow in there? And that's what I did with these. I put it in, and they said, hey, if you have X, Y, and Z, you can try this and that. And I'm like, oh, I do actually. And so that's how I planted it. It's pretty intense to get them in there. I do have worm castings that I harvested. If you guys been with the channel for a minute, you know I do my own worm castings. I do have my own compost too. And I'm starting a compost tea here, or worm casting tea. I don't have a bubbler and I don't have anything fancy. I'm just going to let it sit for about 24 hours. I have this over here, and then I'm going to go through and feed it. See how much space that takes up? Not much at all. And you don't even have to do it this big. I've done it in a 5-gallon container. So I will go ahead and drop the link for the garden in a bag. At least it'll give you an idea as to what you can do. But and you can go in and use my code. So that's pretty much it. I will keep thinking I might do a whole full series on this. If you want to keep seeing the series, specifically videos just on this, go ahead and hit the bell. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and go ahead and leave me a comment. Hey, how's that garden going? That container garden. So then that way I can go ahead and give you updates. I mean, I'm going to be doing updates on the garden itself. So the only reason I haven't included more over here is because, one, I ran out of bags, and two, I want to get my gorilla cart from over there to be able to squeeze in through here. And so if I add, I might be able to get away with another one here. I had one here last year, but I ended up getting rid of it, and I ended up moving it. But, or if you don't want to spend the money on the raised beds, you can just still do grow bags all along. Or it doesn't have to be grow bags, it has to be containers. It can be regular containers, regular plant containers. The only thing is, they're going to be a lot more expensive. And yeah, you can go onto different websites and you can buy the grow bags in multi-packs. You can go to the Epic Gardening website. They have them. They have the grow bags. They have lined and unlined. I haven't used those specifically, but the lined ones sound better because it doesn't let the water dry out as fast. It drains, just not as fast. But anyway, that's gonna be it on this one. Alright guys, well go ahead and hit the bell notification, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Questions, comments, concerns, constructive criticism, please leave them down below. Let me know what you want to see, if this is something that you want to see as far as a container garden. I'm probably still going to keep doing it. If you have any questions specific to this, please go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And then that way I can go ahead and try and get those answered. Or maybe it's something I haven't thought of. Like, you know what? Why not? A lot of these are, or most of these have crops in there that are going to be long term. For now, I do have the crops that are going to be short term in there while those long term crops size up, especially on this last one. Those honey boats, that squash is going to take a minute for it to size up. So I got a bunch of other little stuff in front of it that's going to use up that space while that squash sizes up and I actually get fruit out of it. And as I'm hoping my marigolds start coming up. Once those are up to size, then I'll start tucking them in all over. I might even put some in those grow bags. All right, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.